My fight is against polio. And I'm here today to talk to you about polio. I could come and give you all kinds of statistics, but I'm not going to give you statistics. I'm going to talk to you about the women of polio. I took a trip to Pakistan, and being that it is going to be National Women's Day and International Women's Day, and March is International Women's History Day. I'd like to talk to you about the women of Pakistan. So I am a polio chair, and my job is to educate, raise funds to help with the eradication of polio. And I was sitting there thinking, now how could I possibly do that from my chair, from my office, from the comfort of my own desk, from behind a video screen, a computer screen? I felt I needed to go to the front lines. I needed to face polio. I needed to be there and fight my opponent, which was polio. And so I decided I'm going to go to Pakistan. I'm going to go to the front line. I'm going to fight polio with the rest of these other women of Pakistan. And, I was in for a rude awakening. I thought that was going to be easy. I packed my clothes, I packed my curling iron, I packed my blow dryer. I decided, I'm going to pack a few nice clothes because I might have to dress nice. And I get on a plane in San Francisco, and about 900 hours later, I end up in Islamabad. Now, there was a great welcome there from the Prime Minister. You know, I am the polio chair, and we are fighting polio, and he was very happy to meet me. He was happy to host me. And so for the first day, I stayed with the Prime Minister. And I had a nice dinner, I was entertained, and they took very good care of me. But then reality came, and the next day, I was to travel to the northernmost remote regions of Pakistan where polio exists. And it was very inhospitable. It was very dramatic, and the terrain, it was very rough, and it was breathtakingly beautiful, amazingly beautiful. Sheer cliffs, lots of rugged mountainous ranges, and very remote and hard to get to. And it took 4 hours to get to. We drove in this rickety little Jeep, which I was never so happy to get out of. Thought for sure I was going to need some chiropractic service after that. Long 4-hour ride. But we got there. And next slide. And I met these two lovely ladies when I got there. And that's Azit and Baja. And these two women, they have this formidable method of eradicating polio, of immunizing children. They have no computers, they have no electricity, they have no running water, they have no Wi-Fi, yet they have statistics that the world runs by. And what I say is that their method of keeping track of who's been eradicated, who's been vaccinated, who's not been vaccinated is incredible. It's just a little spiral notepad, and I did bring a bag full of spiral notepads. I brought some pencils. Sometimes all they have is one pencil that they can share amongst each other. And I brought some chalk. Normally they would create their own charcoal, and they used the chalk to mark the outsides of these stone dwellings. So they would mark exactly how many people were in there. They would mark who's been vaccinated. They would mark who chose not to be vaccinated, who they have to come back and counsel some more. And then that information that's marked on the outside of the stone dwelling then gets transferred onto the notepad. And then that goes from the notepad to a rickety truck, a transport, and that gets transported back to Islamabad, and then that gets put into a database, and that database gets shared with the World Health Organization, which is what gets shared with all of us. And that all starts from these two ladies right here. These two ladies here put their life on the line. They're murdered. They're sometimes treated very badly. They have ideology, and they have rules that they have to live by. They're fully clothed in their burqas, and they have terrible terrain they have to walk across and get to, that they have to immunize every child, but they are determined to do so. And I'm sitting there thinking, it's going to be one of those women that's going to be the witness to the very last case of polio in this world. And I'm thinking about that. It's going to be one of those women who's going to be the cause of the very last case of polio in this world. Now, you might be wondering, I got a bulletproof vest on. And this entire outfit is what I wore when I went to Pakistan. And, obviously, I have blonde hair. I stick out like a sore thumb. And I kept trying to take the vest off. Do you want it? Next slide. So you can see they're marking the doorways, so that now they're going to know how many people are in that house, how many people have been vaccinated, and how many people they need to come back to. So next slide. And they go from house to house to house. They have no automobile, no transportation. They walk. And inside the box here or inside the cooler is the polio vaccine, which is, has to be kept cold. And so they carry it around with them. And you can see she has her notepad. Next slide. And she's marking the outside of the house. Next slide. Some more marking. Next slide. Inhospitable weather. Rain or shine. Next slide. The first time I vaccinated a child, I became so overly whelmed as far as emotion goes, because to think that that child will never be paralyzed, that child will never lose its potential to polio. Next slide. And one of my best friends right here, that man with the rifle. There were 8 of them that stood around us all the time to protect us. And speaking of my bulletproof vest, we were all hanging out one day, just having a good time, chit-chatting. All 8 of those armed guards were standing around us to protect us. And then all of a sudden a truck pulled up. And 4 other men got out. We hadn't seen them before. It was a little scary. And they walked over to the head guard, and they were chit-chatting. And then within a few minutes, the head guard came to us and said, "You must go. You must get in the truck right now and go." "Oh, what about my stuff?" "Don't worry about your stuff. We have to go." Well, it turns out that the whole 4 days that had been there, we were being hunted. I was being hunted. And we had about 10 minutes to spare. So we left. 10 minutes later, bandits came into the community, and they were looking for us. They had heard about us. about the light-skinned, light-haired person in their midst, in their community. And so, needless to say that after that, this bulletproof vest became my best friend. And I refused to take it off again. But anyway, nonetheless, these women are my hero. And they're going to be the ones that's going to save us from polio. And they are the kindest, most caring, most determined, and most courageous women that I've met in my lifetime, which I will never forget. Now, we did leave Pakistan, and I came back to the United States in my comfortable little abode. And I heard about 2 people being killed. That is a popular thing over in Pakistan, is to kill polio workers. Turns out it was not them. It was not my friends. And I still keep in contact with my friends, and they are still doing healthy and well. And because we had been there, and we had brought awareness to the government about the plight of these women, because we needed security, we needed a lot of protection while we were there, it has made their life much easier. They have security now. They have a better protection, and to be able to complete their work. And so today, I just want to pay homage to my friends and to these courageous women. Thank you.